Hi there, and welcome to BROC Community Action's BROC Talk. I'm your host, Vicki Loomis. We all know the cold winters and the hot summers that we experience in Vermont, and we also know that there are these big, beautiful houses that are charming and lovely, but they might not be the most energy efficient. So today we're going to be talking all things weatherization with Pam Laser from Resource. Pam, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about Resource?
Yes. So Resource is a Vermont nonprofit, independent nonprofit. It originally based in Burlington region. We've been in the area for over 30 years, and we have a three-part mission. Environmental stewardship. We have a host of stores, building material and household goods stores in Burlington, Williston, Barre, and Hyde Park, similar to a Goodwill, keeping things out of the landfill. And poverty relief, offering vouchers to people to get goods there. But job training has been at the core of our mission the whole time, and we have a whole host of job training programs throughout our enterprise, helping all kinds of Vermonters build their work skills, work readiness skills, and then looking into technical aspects to get into the workforce in all different arenas. And I've been focused on our construction trades for the last decade, helping people in that arena.
And that includes the weatherization training,
Exactly.
which we have coming to the Rutland area in February.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Resource has been offering training in the construction trades for, again, over a decade, and our intensives for the last 5 or 6. We expanded our Construction 101 and Weatherization 101 intensives recently and started to bring them across the state. So we are bringing our Weatherization 101 down here to Rutland this February, and then to Bennington in April. These are kind of short, 6-week-long trainings designed to help jumpstart interested Vermonters into the trades, and specifically in our case into the weatherization trade.
And so what does somebody learn in the Weatherization 101?
Great question. We have several components to the courses. Obviously in weatherization, there's going to be the weatherization component, and that's with our great building science instructor, Brad Cook out of the Mad River Valley. And he's going to be talking about building science, what makes a home efficient in that way, different tactics, and they'll be hands-on with blowing insulation, caulking, spray foam, and getting familiar with some of the basic techniques that an entry-level weatherization technician would do. Another component is the construction aspect, where it's learning about the use of hand tools, power tools, their safe use, and then actually doing some construction builds, getting comfortable with them. Because being comfortable with all those tools is a real strong prerequisite for anybody in this field, wherever they may go. And we also have a job placement component in the program, where we're learning, updating their resumes and weatherization-oriented resumes, mock interviews, and then meeting with hiring employers and working toward a work experience with hiring employers.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, we are one of those employers, and we're certainly an equal opportunity employer, but we definitely look favorably upon anybody who's completed these programs. So are there any prerequisites that somebody who's interested would need?
Great question. Our prerequisites kind of follow what the trades need. Trades need 18 and up. Legally, for somebody needs to be 18 to work in those industries. And they often require a good, comfortable level of English. So we ask that people be English proficient if they're not a native English speaker. And then physically ready to work a full-time, physically demanding job, because the weatherization and the trades are full-time work. The part-time work doesn't really exist. So it's a physically demanding work, early set hours, but those are kind of the main prerequisites: ready to work and available for that field.
Nice. So when they get out in the field, what would somebody do after they have completed this program? They've been hired on, say, by the BROC Community Action Weatherization Program. What would they be doing? Like, what would their day look like?
Yeah, what would some of their days like? And just to finish up on the prerequisites, there's no prerequisites as far as knowing this stuff in advance. People can come in never having worked with tools before, and that's fine. Many people do, but it's not a prerequisite, so I wanted to add that in. As far as your question about what people will do in the field, so for instance with BROC, we have a really close relationship with the BROC Weatherization team, who are growing a lot. They might be on a small crew of 3 to 4 people in a crew truck going out to a house and assessing, figuring out and implementing the plan that an energy auditor has put in place, whether it's spray foaming in on a insulating wall, setting that up, setting it up to dense pack with their trucks, and these are all things that we go over in the class and that the work experience help people get familiar with. They can be installing bathroom fans and kitchen fans that help with exhaust and getting things set up. We've also had trainees go into solar, and we've connected with a solar company. There's also contractors who are, when they're doing their new builds and remodels, might be very focused on making homes weather tight. So I've had graduates go into working with some contractors where they're doing a lot more construction, but they might be building in that knowledge. So it's very open to what the trainee is interested in, where they might go, and what is good fits.
Is there any cost involved in taking this course?
There is no. Resource is a training organization. We don't ask any of our trainees to pay for tuition out of their own pocket. We might ask people to help us find that funding through application to a VSAC grant, but we help them through that process, if so. So it's not no funding out of the person's own pocket.
That makes sense. So can you tell us a little bit more about some success stories maybe that you have from the training? Yeah. Our flyer that's I think out on the website has photos of our last training in Barrie. 2 graduates, one who is working with a construction company that does kind of net zero, and she was really excited to get into the field. Another one's doing actually solar equipment maintenance. Another graduate from that program who had never worked officially in a construction industry but done a lot of work with her family business is working for the community agency over in Barrie, Capstone, as a weatherization technician, and so she's expanding their team there. Had up in St. Johnsbury last spring, a young man who year or two out of high school wasn't sure his direction, took our course, and he is just their top technician there. They just love him. He's just really interested in learning and growing. There's a lot of growth in the weatherization field. It's not just coming in as an entry-level technician. There's opportunities to grow into energy auditors and learn more building science, and so it's a real career path that the state is needing people all up and down the alley. Yeah, and that's one thing we always try to reiterate as well, is that, you know, this isn't just a job. Yes. This is the science behind weatherization, and this is keeping people comfortable in their homes. This is making homes safer and more energy efficient, which is saving, you know, not only cooling costs, because we always think about winter and how cold it is, but also the summer. It gets really hot. So this has helped a lot of people be more comfortable in their homes, and it's not just, you know, an entry-level job. There's really is expansion in this field. Yeah, definitely. People can come in, again, not having any experience, and through our jump start and then training in the field can grow into those areas. So there is a lot of opportunity that way. There is. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it looks like as far as the class setup? Is there a classroom component and then it's hands-on, or? Yeah, definitely. So our program's 6 weeks long. We're 4 weeks in the classroom, and then the 5th and 6th week is people are having customized individual work placements with a hiring employer. During those 4 weeks in the classroom, we run Monday through Friday, 9 to 3:30. Here in Rutland, we're going to be hosted by the Mint, or the Makerspace, which we're really excited about. And it's a combination of hands-on work. It might be one day with the construction instructor, you know, going over tools and starting building things and having practical applications. Another day with our weatherization instructor, who'll be going over building science concepts and then setting up
applications, whether it's bringing our weatherization truck in and they're blowing into a mock wall. We have mock set up so people can actually have hands-on practice right in our classroom. And then the other days we might have work with me, working on updating their resumes, which we start into right away, mock interview experience. I also have staff coming down to provide training and resources, personal and professional development curriculum, which helps build up those soft skills and all those other skills that are really important on the job site, and kind of reviewing those. And that kind of builds up to our employer panel. So each day is usually some component of hands-on and then learning what the concepts are.
So can you tell me a little bit more about what the soft skills are?
Yeah. So soft skills are, as most everybody knows, are really important in all industries. I hear from contractors constantly, I ask them what's important to them, and it's the idea of people showing up. So we talk about reliability and what it's like getting to a job site. We run our class like a job site. So it's encouraging people about being there on time, breaks, lunch, and so forth. So building those reliability skills as far as showing up, and that communication. How do you communicate if you are running late or you have an appointment? Building those skills. We're working in small teams within the training, so they're getting practice with working within a team, because construction and weatherization is very team-oriented. There's a lot of communication going on. So being able to practice those skills and getting some positive supportive feedback on it. Resource is a real strengths-based organization, so we do an evaluation in the middle, and we can give feedback on what people are doing well and what are areas for them to grow on to be successful in the workplace. And that's feedback you don't usually get.
Right.
You don't get it until it's detrimental, and we can give it as a constructive growth in the meantime.
Yeah, and that happens about halfway through the program, you said?
Yes, exactly. So there's time to practice that.
That makes sense. I like that. So if somebody's interested in this class, what would they need to do to get started? Where do they look? Where do they go? Great
question. Right on our website is resourcevt.org, and looking under training and then to Weatherization 101 is all the information about this program. And there's also a link to our online application, which is a really straightforward, I think, hopefully Google form. So completing the online application, then I get in touch and we set up a virtual time to meet and learn more about the program, and me to learn more about them, and then see if it's a good fit all around. So going to our website and completing our online application.
And is there anything that they need to bring with them to the class?
No, we provide all the tools, so really just an attitude to learn, an interest in a career growth. Is really all. Lunch during the middle of the day, a bottle of water. No.
So no tools, no
nothing.
No investment ahead of time.
Exactly.
And we've already touched on there is no cost to this program.
Yeah, there's no cost to it. There is also a training stipend. Right now it's at $300 a week tax, to help idea that if somebody's committing 6 weeks of their life, it might impact their income ability and other jobs. So we provide a little bit of opportunity there to hopefully offset their costs during the training, so they can stay in the program.
Right. So that makes great sense. So can we talk a little bit about what the instructors, want them to walk away with?
The instructors are, the construction instructor, our goal there is to be familiar and comfortable with the tools and having a confidence level with them, because that's what employers are looking for. They don't have time to teach somebody how to work a power saw. So a lot of our goal of our instructors is to build confidence. Whether it's working with the tools, the power tools, the hand tools, some construction math we go over, but it's very basic. We really work people through that, because working with the tape measure is really important in the industry. Our weatherization instructor wants people to have a basic foundation of building science, but depending on where somebody's going to go placement-wise, that may or may not be as relevant, but understanding the building science. But again, a comfortableness with kind of figuring things out, and we support people in that process of getting comfortable and hopefully getting confident throughout the process. They don't need to come in with that confidence, because almost no student does, but our goal is to help them with that. And then as far as the job placement support, an openness to work through their resumes, and I have people do their own typing, so they really own their own resume, and it's on a form that they can take with them moving forward.
So can you tell me a little bit about what happens after they graduate the class?
So we have the 4 weeks in the classroom, and we do wrap up with a celebration because it's when we're all together. And then students are going on to a job placement, a work experience with hiring employers. And frequently people do more than one work experience. They're usually about 4 days. Kind of is a sweet spot. I found that kind of works. And we can do more than one because there's so much opportunity out there. And for somebody who's ready to work, there's companies out there that want you. So there's a work experience piece. At the end of each work experience, I sit down with the trainee and their supervisor, and we have another little mini evaluation about how the work experience went, and that's usually the opportunity for the employer to make an offer. And I've had students where they've done multiple work experience and they've gotten multiple offers, and where they might have started thinking they were going to go with this company, after they've had the experiences, they've chosen a different company, and that's up to each trainee to decide. It's not, I might help them provide the opportunity, but it's their decision because it's their direction. So once those work experiences are done, and hopefully different offers have come in, which usually mostly likely happens, the employer and the trainee work out a start date, and that trainee goes on to starting that job. I still stay in touch. So if the trainee, now the graduate employee, is having some issues and wants to talk through them, I'm a safe ear to do that. And also for the employer, I'm there to help facilitate conversations along the way, especially if somebody's new to the industry and is maybe needs some more support in kind of bringing up concerns they might have. I'm there to support that throughout.
So we talk about this training, this isn't for potential job openings, this isn't for, it could be coming in the future. These are high demand jobs. I know at BROC Community Action we are hiring in both Rutland and Bennington counties, kind of on a rolling basis. So this is not, the potential to find a job. It's, they're out there training for it, you know what you're getting into. Exactly,
yes. There are, as people may not know, there's been a lack of workers in this area. Unemployment has been very low, and it was even low before COVID hit. And the construction industry in particular has been really hard hit. The average age of people in the trades is in their 40s, 50s. They're retiring. They're looking for a whole new wave of people into this industry. So yes, this is for hiring positions. Our goal is to get people into a position. It's not just training for the sake of it. It's to get people into those positions. So I connect with hiring employers, already have several on board for this training, and reaching out to others that we invite. When we invite them to a hiring panel, it's ones that are hiring, and they are deliberately looking for people to join their work, and they're out there. They're hungry.
Yeah, we are always, accepting applications. I know Mark, our director of Weatherization, will be at your employee panel on the 22nd, so he's looking forward to it.
Yes.
And we've had other trainings that are similar to this, and we have hired out of them, and we've had great experiences with trainings like these, and people who kind of know what they're getting into before they apply for a job and just get hired and start. They're walking into it knowing, this can be a hard job. This is a great job and you're helping a lot of people, but they know what they're getting into, so it's not that shock when they get started.
Yes, exactly. If people are still unsure about it, again, on our website is all this information about the web page. It also has my email and phone number. I'll put it out there, 802-324-2091. If people have questions and are unsure if this is a program for them, we can just chat about it, and they can help them decide whether they want to apply.
And you have the program, like we talked about, coming to Rutland in February and then Bennington, but you also have them around the state as well.
We do. We have, resources, a whole host of training programs, and our intensives, our trades. We have Construction 101, which is around the state, and then including in Burlington, HVAC is coming online, logistics. So they're in different regions throughout, and our calendar is on our website for the different locations they'll be in.
And those are all also 6-week courses?
Yes, we all have the same 6-week model, really jump-starting people into these trades. They're all trades that are industries that are in high demand for employees.
Yeah, so this is a great step forward for anybody who's ready to start their career.
Yes, exactly. Ready to start a career, ready to change careers. They might have been working in different industries or short period times here and there, and it's like, okay, let me see if I can try this out to really move forward in a direction.
Yeah, and I know we are starting wages $20 and change an hour. So this is definitely, you start at a great wage and the growth can just go from there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The wages in construction at most all have all been going up, and right now I'm seeing about entry level is in the high teens to 20. I like to be conservative in what I say in those numbers, but I'm seeing a lot of $20 an hour to start, and then some like BROC have amazing benefits as well.
Yes.
And there's room to growth. I talked to contractors, just talked to one yesterday. I was like, well, I might start somebody right there, but if they work out, I'll quickly bring them up. Because nobody knows if they're going to be a good fit, and the people who are going to be a good fit in this. It's hard work, so people might try it and then decide, oh, it's not for me. So for an employer, they kind of want to see if somebody's going to be able to stay in the industry before they'll commit to rising their wages. But if it's somebody who's ready to learn, ready to grow, interested in that kind of work, the opportunity to grow in their wages is definitely there.
Yeah, we like to start them, like I said, it's 20 and change an hour plus benefits. I mean, so it's really a great foot in the door for a career path that could take you right all the way to retirement.
Exactly, yes.
All right, so is there anything else you'd like to touch on before we wrap up today?
There's a lot of opportunity. There's spots open in Rutland program. And again, I'm also recruiting for Bennington. So look at our website for more information and to apply, resourcevt.org.
And you can visit BROC.org to learn more about our programs and services that we offer, as well as more information about weatherization, the overview of what it entails beginning to end. So we start with, that you have an auditor come in and they'll kind of do an audit of the home, and then it goes from there. So you can visit us again at BROC.org. You can always give us a call, 802-775-0878. And we thank you for joining us, and we'll talk again soon.